by keeping laws. How do you, okay, let me show you a few things that the Bible reveals so that you'll see what I'm saying. To manifest righteousness. Number one, if you will manifest righteousness, you must know your true nature in God. You must know that you are declared righteous. If you don't know that you are righteous, you can never live right. You know what that means? When you meet somebody who fornicates, you will first of all tell him that you are the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. That's where you start from. Does it sound wild? Yes. Because it was a gift. It wasn't end. But you won't stop there. 2 Corinthians 5:21 said, he made him that was without sin to become sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. In Romans 5:17, he said, they which receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness shall reign in life. So when you tell people, don't fornicate, don't lie. If you fornicate, you go to hell. Then, if you want to help them, begin by telling them, dominate their consciousness with the understanding that they are now the righteousness of God. When they accept that new nature, that's the beginning of holy living. But if you stop there, you will set them up. Because they will declare it and not be it. So after you say that, you now go to the second thing. The second thing is that you must introduce them to the law of the spirit of life that is in Christ Jesus. That's where grace begins. Paul, in Romans chapter 7, from verse 20 to 25, and Romans 8, verse 1 to 2, told us that he struggled to live holy. He couldn't. He called himself a wretched man. Until he said in Romans 8, verse 2, he said, the law of the spirit of life that is in Christ Jesus set me free from the law of sin and death. Because Paul discovered that there were three laws that regulated men. The first law is the law of the mind. He said that law is what makes me want to do good. He said, but when I want to do good, there is a law that counters the law of the mind. He said that's the law of sin and death. So every time I'm struggling to do right, I fall. So the guy who doesn't want to masturbate finds himself masturbating. The guy who doesn't want to lie finds himself lying. Because the law of sin and death will always counter the law of the mind or the law of God. Paul now said there is a third law, an awakening of a third law. He called it the law of the spirit of life that is in Christ Jesus. This is not the law of Moses. This is an organic reality. He said that law is what set him free from the law of sin and death. Now, how do you get to that law? He showed us. Two things Paul showed us. Number one,